Hello everyone, this is a section on financial maths in maths. So we're gonna do simple interest first and then we do compound interest. With maths you use formulas. A simple interest is A is equals to P open bracket 1 plus IN. If you are in grade 10 or grade 11, you have to memorize the formula. You are not given a formula sheet. So A is the final amount. When you invest money, that money that you're going to end up with, it's A, it's the final amount. P is the principal amount, is the money that you invest. And then I, small letter I, is the interest rate, is the percentage that the bank will give you if you invest with them. And then N is the number of time or period that the money will be in the bank. It can be in months, it can be in years. Normally it's in years. Let's look at an example. Okay, let's look at an example. In financial maths they give you a story. You have to read the story, read it twice to understand it. Let's read this one. It said Patricia invests 250,000 into a savings account in order to save money for university. If the interest rate is 8.5% annually, simple interest, calculate. So we're going to calculate two things. You have to look for this. They will say simple interest or compound interest. When it says simple interest, you use this formula. When it says compound interest, you're going to use the formula of the example that I'll show you next. Okay. In financial maths, to get it right, as you are reading it, we read it the first time. The second time when you read it, we write what we are given. Patricia invests 250,000 is the money that he has invested. So that's your P. Your P is 250,000. 250,000 in a savings account in order to save for university. If the interest rate is 8.5%, percent means in 100. So interest, you don't ever write the percentage. Take your calculator and change it to a decimal. You don't write it in a question as a percentage, you write it as a decimal. So it's 8.5 divided by 100. Percentage means 100. So in decimal is 0.085. Please always use your calculator so that you don't miss zeros. And then they say annually simple interest. So we're going to use simple interest. Calculate A, the total amount that Patricia will have after 5 years. So the period N is 5 years. Okay, because of this simple interest, you're gonna use simple interest formula. Let's do that. Okay, the formula for simple interest is A, you write the formula, is equals to P, the money that you have invested, 1 plus I. So this is the amount that we're going to have at the end of the day. So our P is 200. Our P is 25,000. So I made a mistake here. It's not supposed to be 250,000. It's supposed to be 25,000. So she invested 25,000. The formula comes with a 1 plus the interest in decimal 0.085 multiplied by number of years is 5. Then you take your calculator, you punch it in your calculator. 25, 1, 2, 3, open bracket, 1 plus 0.085 multiplied by 5, close bracket, and your answer is at the end of 5 years you'll have 35,625. Okay, this is how you calculate. Here you don't make too many steps, you don't get marks for that. You punch everything into your calculator and get the answer. Let's look at B. Now B says the total interest end. So there are two terms. There's this term here, this one, interest rate and the total interest. Interest rate is the percentage that the bank is going to give it to you. Is the percentage that is going to be in percentage. And the interest is the total amount that you're going to make extra. You remember, she invested 25,000. So the interest is capital letter I. She ended up with 35,625. But Yena, she invested 25,000. So the extra amount that she has earned, 35,625 minus 25,000. The interest is 10,625. This is the extra amount that if she ate her money, that 25,000 5 years ago, she wouldn't have got this extra amount. That is called the interest. Okay, let's look at the compound interest. This is a compound interest. The formula is slightly different with a simple interest. The A is the same, the P is the same, the bracket 1 plus I. With the simple interest, the N is here. With a compound interest, the N is an exponent. So that's how the two formulas differ. Right, let's look at an example. It says Mrs. Baker has 20,000 which she would like to save for an overseas holiday with her family in 3 years' time. She invests her money at a rate 9% per annum, compounded annually. Then the question, how much will Mrs. Baker have available to spend on her holiday? Okay, let's read the question again and write what we are given. Okay, Mrs. Baker has 20,000, so that's our P. It's 20,000 which she would like to save for an overseas holiday with her family in 3 years. That's our N. It's 3 years. She will save the money for 3 years. She invests her money at a rate 9% per annum, compounded monthly. So the interest is 9%. You take your calculator, you say 9 divided by 100, and you get, it's important to use a calculator so that you don't make mistake with a decimal, 0.09. And then they say how much will she have. Because of this compounded annually, we're gonna use the compound interest formula that says A is equals to P. You have to memorize the formula. The N is an exponent. Let us put the information in the formula and calculate. Let's put values. Our P, the money that she invested, is 20,000. The formula comes with a 1. The interest rate is 0.09, and the number of years is 3. So the 3 is the exponent there. And then we take our calculator. We write 20,000, open bracket, 1 plus 0.09, close bracket, and then the exponent thingy there. The exponent thingy is an X that have a box like that. This one on your calculator will do the exponent for you. You can put any value for the exponent. 20,000, 1 plus 0.09. Then I press that in my calculator, then it do the exponent thing for me. Then I put a 3 there. Equals to, she will have in 3 years 25,958 cents. So this is how you calculate compound interest. On your question paper, you have to look for the words. Is it written simple interest? Then you use the simple interest formula. Compound interest, then you use the compound interest formula. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching.